Hello everyone, welcome to the Anime Recap Media YouTube channel. Please like the video, subscribe to help our channel and enjoy this full video.
Previously, Rudy encounters a man with green hair and something red embossed on his forehead, and as they communicate using demon god language, the man introduces himself politely as Rudyard Supergia. After waking up, Eris is initially wary of him, but she comes around after some convincing from Rudy. With this incident behind them, however, when they pass through a village, the children are suspicious of them. Using his powers of telepathy, he speaks with their chief and eventually gets them to enter the village. With this incident behind them, Rudy sets out to protect the children and help everyone get back home safely. When the chief notices the necklace Rudy is wearing, he mentions Roxy's name. The man who originally turned them away freaks out. Apparently, Roxy is his daughter, but he hasn't seen her in 20 years. They're allowed entry to the village and explain how they came to be on the demon continent. The chief is worried about Rudyard escorting them since superds aren't allowed in cities. He responds that he'll just kill everyone in the city if that's the case. He becomes angry when Rudy asks if it's true they turned on their allies in the war. Rudyard recounts the story of the demon god, Laplace, and how he gave their tribe cursed spears during a war 400 years ago. These weapons were known as superds and had the power to make warriors turn on their own families. To restore his family's honor, Rudyard pledges to stop at nothing in order to cleanse their name from this misfortune. Eris is relieved to have an opportunity to contribute. She will use the sword gifted by Roxy's parents to increase the group's chances of success. The group's mood quickly sours when they reach the first super-controlled city and see its guards searching for someone named Dead End. After concluding that Dead End is Rudyard's nickname, Rudy devises a plan to disguise him as a member of the Magurdia tribe. To do this, he dyes Rudyard's hair blue and gives him Roxy's necklace. To make some money and lighten people's fears of the superds, they join an adventurers guild and put on a show under their new party named Dead End, but with an emphasis on good deeds. It is hoped that news of these good deeds will spread far and wide. He's visited with the aid of the man god and his goals again, who tells him to be given the low-ranking quest to discover a misplaced cat. The subsequent day, with the use of his 0.33i, Rudyard without problems finds the region they're searching for. The cat is a bit greater than they assumed at the outset. The kitty kidnappers are without difficulty restrained with earth magic, earlier than getting solutions out of the Rudyard decapitate one after he kicks Rudy. They argue over killing humans regardless of whether or not they're evil because they're attempting to promote an appropriate image. The different kidnappers explain how they're adventurers who wait till anybody posts a job to return their pets whilst gathering the reward. This confirms Rudyard's suspicions, although he receives pissed off when the children quit him a second time. Instead of killing them, Rudy decides to use the kidnappers' greater rank in the guild to get more challenging jobs. Roxy travels to Roa searching for Rudy and will become relieved when she doesn't locate his or his family's names on the loss of life list. Paul writes a letter to let him be aware that he and his sister, Norn, are alive. However, it by no means reaches his son. Meanwhile, Dead End searches for a mysterious monster lurking in a forest. They see a celebration of 3 youthful demons they've encountered earlier than arguing with every other party. It appears they're all searching for the equal beast. When they seem for it on their own, Rudyard stops the group, as he's concerned about the demon children, so they agree to comply with them simply in case. Rudy stops Rudyard from stepping in once more when the birthday party is attacked by way of 2 monsters at once, questioning it would be satisfactory to store them and bolster their names. But his intentions don't fit fact as one of the demon youngsters is killed immediately. No quantity of recovery magic would keep him now. Rudyard berates Rudy for maintaining his lower back and letting a baby die, even though the different demons shield him by accepting the blame. They knew the dangers and they took them anyway. It wasn't their job to keep them. Rudyard apologizes and acknowledges them as warriors. After strolling the youngsters to the forest's edge, they hear the sound of any other monster, solely to locate some other celebration dead. They by no means stood a chance. It used to be too late to keep them, although they avenged their deaths by killing the massive serpent. Back in the city, one of the guild participants calls them out for working with every other crew to take on more difficult jobs and blackmails them. Noticing Rudy about to lose it, intending to kill the demon to defend Eris, Rudyard washes the dye out of his hair, threatening their blackmailer. After being located out, he rapidly leaves the city earlier than the guard sees him for being a superd. The 3 meet up on the outskirts, and Rudyard admits that he eventually is aware of what Rudy has been attempting to do and acknowledges him as a warrior.
Rudius and his party had finally made it to a coastal city. At the same time, Roxy and her party arrived via boat, but both parties failed to encounter each other. Rudius and Eris soon discovered that, due to Rudyard being a support, the fee to travel the ocean was too high for them to pay. With no solution in sight, Rudius was once again contacted by Human God, who instructed him to buy food in a specific place. Rudius soon stumbled upon a hungry vagrant and decided to feed her. The vagrant then revealed that she was the reincarnated demon emperor Kishirika Kishirisu and rewarded Rudius with a demon eye that allowed him to see a few seconds into the future. Rudius then used this power to save a man from harm. Having gotten used to his new ability, Rudius decided to sell his staff to get enough money for Rudyard's ticket, but Rudyard himself dissuaded him from doing so, pointing out it would hurt Eris' feelings. Just then, the man that Rudius had saved arrived and introduced himself as Gallus Cleaner. He offered to smuggle Rudyard onto the ship, and in exchange, Rudius and his party agreed to help him with a task. After failing to find any information, Roxy and her party decided it was time to leave for the next town. However, Rudius and his party were able to leave the city by sea after Gallus helped smuggle Rudyard onto the ship, in return for Rudius liberating some goods for him in Zantport. Upon reaching Zant, Rudius headed straight to the smuggler's hideout. There, he discovered his mission was to liberate beast children being held captive by the smugglers. Rudyard killed all the smugglers and escorted the children to safety while Rudius stayed behind to free a magical dog. But, unbeknownst to him, he was ambushed and captured by a pair of beastmen who were looking to save the children and their sacred beast as well. Mistaking Rudius to be one of the smugglers, they decided to take him to their village for questioning. Rudius was captured in Doldia village, stripped of all his belongings, not even his clothes. He joked that it might awaken something inside him, but he wasn't so sure. He could easily break out of the cell, but he chose to stay put, not wanting to antagonize the villagers. He was later joined by Geese, another human prisoner who had done something to offend the villagers. Geese immediately called Rudius his senpai and they discussed how cute the beast women were. It was a classic master and student relationship. Suddenly, the village was attacked by Gallus and his men. They set the village ablaze, determined to capture the beast children. Rudius and Geese managed to escape, but Rudius decided to help the villagers instead. He used his sacred water magic to put out the fire, and then he tried to fight Gallus. But it was no use, Gallus was too powerful for him. Suddenly, the sacred beast arrived to help them. With the beast's assistance, Rudius, Geese, and the sacred beast managed to defeat Gallus once and for all. Just then, Rudyard and Eris arrived. They explained that they had been delayed because they had been helping the Doldians wipe out the rest of the smuggling ring. The villagers thanked Rudius for his help and apologized for falsely accusing him.
How was the video? We hope it was good. If so, please check these videos. Also, please comment down your thoughts and your suggestions for future videos. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing now to show the support to our channel. We hope to see you soon with another video right in this channel. Have a nice day.